Pam and Buzz, I just wanted to thank you for attending the first marriage retreat that we had for Wesley Church. And I'd like to ask if you could say something about who you are and how long you've been here at Wesley, and then ask you some questions about the retreat.
Sure. We've been here, I'd say, around 25 years. We've been here at Wesley. We've been married for 29 years, but don't let that deter you from coming, because it doesn't matter how long you've been married, whether it's been a year, 30 years, 50 years, it was well worth coming, and we had a great time.
Awesome.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that people early on could benefit as much as people that have been married for a long period of time, because I think that what you're going to learn at the retreat is it's about your own exploration of how you love other people, and then you also find out about your partner and what the keys are to their communication styles and how they see love. And so it's sort of what I think was one of the important things from the retreat was that we really learned a lot about how we work as a team.
Awesome. If you could capsulize what you like most about the retreat, what would you say the favorite item that you like most or that you learned during the retreat?
We did talk about the 5 love languages, and that I had heard about that, but I really hadn't put much thought into it. I guess I knew what my love language was or is, and Buzz is really good at that. But it was learning kind of more what his were, and that one of those kind of really opened my eyes to things that I maybe was not very aware of, or did, or was good at. And I still don't think I am. But yeah, that was one of
that
mine.
Awareness, I think, is everything.
Right.
And to go through that whole process, not only with each other, but with other people within the church that you know and that you love, or you get to know better because of that as well. And to see, have a sort of a group growth as well. So I think that was something that I hadn't anticipated, but it was nice to go through the experience with other people as well.
It was.
One of the big things in doing these that I myself have learned is not wrong, just different. That sometimes as a spouse you find you have a certain personality, and just knowing somebody else has that, or your spouse has a certain personality in somebody else, it really helps you not put them in the penalty box and recognize, hey, maybe I need to work through this and or grow, rather than they aren't exactly like me. So that's really powerful.
Right.
I'd also like to ask you a couple other questions. What would you say about the pace of the retreat? Was it rushed, or did you have enough time for it to be meaningful? And or is this something that's worth taking a day off work? Would you recommend people leaving early or leaving the day up? Any thoughts about those items?
I didn't feel rushed. I mean, I felt like we had time to explore all the different areas we talked about. We had time for discussion. We had time just to be together. And I definitely would recommend it. I mean, at first you're thinking, oh, do I want to take the time? But I highly encourage everyone to do it if you're thinking about it. It was well worth the time. And it's just a time that you can just spend one-on-one together. And I think sometimes in marriages we get lost in that, and we don't spend the time just to be one-on-one. It's bills and kids and work. And so this was just a time to come together and just focus on each other. So I would recommend it to anybody. And well worth the time to take off from work. It's always fun to take off work, so.
Awesome.
Yeah, I totally agree that the way it was structured and where you had group time, you had some individual time, and then you also had couple time. For instance, going out on a date together and just walks around the area that we could reflect upon what we're discussing at the time. It was all very beneficial.
You have young adults as kids in that transition. Is this something that you would recommend to them either before getting married or at the beginning part of their marriages?
I hadn't really thought about that, but that is, yes, I would. Because it's something to know that you need to be open to listen to someone else and to really communicate And how we are so different in the ways we communicate, how we verbalize, how we want things. And so I would think that would be a great introduction for either kids that are engaged, are thinking about getting married, or just to kind of know if you're dating someone, you know, what to look for, and to communicate well.
Awesome.
Yeah, because as you go along, in the retreat, you really find out, I mean, you recognize where you are, and all the good things and bad things about that. And so, again, it's about that self-exploration. When you can find out why you're built the way you are and those kind of things, then it helps, I think, your ability to love other people. So it would have been probably very beneficial to do this very early on as well.
Yes. Well, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Couldn't ask for more, and looking forward to the next retreat, and hope you can even come back. I guess that would be my last question. Is this something, having gone once, that you would recommend people to go again to?
I would go in a minute, in a heartbeat, yeah, because it's something, I mean, you may stress that for a while, that you can feel, you know, maybe you go back into the same patterns, the same routine, so it's kind of a nice way just to come back and to just kind of rehash that and know where you need to be centered again.
And it was a lot of fun.
It was
a lot of fun the way you did it.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun to, you know, have the people that you get to know in church
Right.
and get to know better from this experience. So it was win-win.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You bet.
Thanks, Ron.
Awesome.